the NFL raises the ban for players who gamble on NFL games. Now, raises the ban meaning they're not lifting a ban on being able to gamble. They're raising, they're doubling down on it. Like they're getting more, like they're getting harsher on what they're doing with the ban. Correct?
In a specific situation, yes. So I think the clarification that they made on Friday, they made two distinct changes to their gambling policy as far as betting. And the big one where they reinforced was about NFL betting. So if you bet on the NFL and you're an NFL player, if you bet on your own team, kind of like a Pete Rose situation, it is now a 2-year suspension. If you bet on another team that's not your own, it's 1 year. Now, the second component of that is what Lions wide receiver Jamison Williams and Titans offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere got in trouble for, which was betting on non-NFL games but at an NFL team facility or team activity, which originally carried a 6-game suspension. They've decided to tier that now into repeat offenses. The first offense is now 2 games, the second is 6 games, and third and onward would be a year. So in light of that, they went ahead and lifted the suspensions effective Monday on Petit-Frere and Williams.
Served.
So on time served. So both of those players can rejoin their clubs here in time for Week 5.
Which originally they were banned for the year?
Six
They
games.
were getting 6 games. Yeah.
Oh, they were getting 6 games. Okay, all right, okay. So how you feel about this, TJ?
I like it, and what I like is, like, man, listen, you can't bet on games. Like, what? I don't understand what goes through some of these dudes' heads, man. Like, I really don't. Like, just listen to what I'm about to say. You are going to bet $1,000. Just say $1,000. Say you're dumb enough to bet $5,000. If you're that dumb, okay, you bet $5,000. The money that you win is not even more money than you make in the play. What are you even taking a chance for, you big dummy?
Big dummy.
Why? I guess common sense isn't always common, because why would you chance making, I don't even know what league minimum is. I believe it's like $800,000 this year.
Oh, wow.
Why would you chance that making little measly bets, nickel and dime, and bet a guy on a team, a bookie? So I'd like to deterrent. You get caught betting on NFL games, you get suspended a year. No, that's it. You know what it is now. You know what it is.
Right.
I also like the fact that now if you bet on another sport, it's not as severe. Now, I would like it to be no punishment at all. But, guys, we may not like the rules, but you know what they are. Abide by them. It's simple as that. We don't just walk in the store and take groceries. We don't just walk in the mall and just take clothes. You pay for them. That's the rules that are set. We know that's abide by everything that is set. That's all you got to do. But if you want to be the big dummy and lose a year, and if you're not one of the top players, you're probably gonna lose your career. So if you think it's worth it, go ahead and keep doing it. I like the new rule. I like the fact that immediately they were reinstated right away, even though they had 2 more games to serve. And so
that must be the headline ban lifted, meaning they were banned for 2 more games, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the fact that they can come back and play, and we'll get into this later, but man, this makes Detroit even scarier.
Yeah.
And so I just hope these guys, man, just be smart, because when you get to my age and you've been kicked out of the league, so to speak, for this, man, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass. And so let's just be smart. But I do like it, man. I like the league. I like the fact that the league was able to just bend a little bit and say, you know what, we probably went a little hard on Jamison Williams and the guys. So, they're reinstated effective immediately. I like that aspect of it, because we know the league rarely does that.
I'm a say this. Like, I like that there's more clarity, because I just continue to hear I wasn't clear. I didn't understand. Like, it didn't all seem to add up. Like, I'm at the facility, whatever, blah, blah, blah. and a lot of players were complaining about not having clarity. It sounds as though they've answered the clarity. This is very clear cut as to what you can and cannot do. But here's what I'll offer, because I still feel like this is still a level of hypocrisy. I feel like there's still a tremendous level of hypocrisy.
I wouldn't say tremendous, but it's a
well,
it's a level.
I'm gonna say why it's egregious and why it's a tremendous level of hypocrisy, because you have sports books that are opening in stadiums, like the NFL is in bed with gambling, like they are. It has opened itself up to another tremendously large and lucrative revenue stream. And so to me, you're talking you're talking peanuts. Like you said, you're not even making what you would make in a play on one of these bets. So you're nitpicking on individuals who are within the industry that you're in, and you're working to protect the integrity of knowing that the people that pay to come see the games, that are a part of the media, whatever it may be, you're trying to protect the integrity of the game by making sure you have rules that govern the players and coaches that are the employees that are involved with the sport. But yet you are in bed with gambling, and you are massively benefiting by the impact of what sports books and gambling, sports betting has presented to the league. Would that be an accurate assessment, Perfect? I know you get it. Would that be like an accurate kind of, like take on what the NFL is actively working with major draft companies, one in particular, and they're also opening sports books inside of the stadiums, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you understand it from business side. This is where the money is now. It rules everything in sports with widespread legalization, and the NFL absolutely wants a piece of it. But they are also cognizant, as I think all leagues are, that exposing yourself to gambling also exposes questions about your integrity. And when your players engage with it, that is doubly so. That's the history of a lot of things about sports. We don't need to go back to 1919. It's all across the history with sports in this country, and it's a fine line they have to walk. And I guess I question why they even need to walk it in the first place. Why even open yourself up to it? But hey, if you're going to get the money, then like I get it, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know how you keep that balance forever.
You're telling players, if you're caught gambling in the facility, you're going to get suspended. And if you get caught gambling on NFL games, you're getting suspended for a year right then and there.
Or your own team for 2 years. And just imagine if
a
star quarterback gets caught. Wow,
but
2 years.
If you get caught gambling on the premises, you're getting suspended. And yet you're having countless amounts of people who come into your stadium bet on games.
And this is the audience that books want too, right? They want young, competitive males at peak prowess.
You're going to continue to do it.
This is the audience that they want to be gambling. It's the audience. Same guys who are playing the sports. Yeah.
But this is the thing.
I don't know. It's confusing.
It's confusing. But when you come out and you tell me what it is, abide by it. It's that simple. Whether you agree with now, you don't have to play.
Right.
You don't have to play. If you want to gamble and not be suspended, stop playing. We're not forcing you to play. You want to play. But you have to be a rational thinker. I just think, to me, it's like such common sense. Like, are you really going to sacrifice your livelihood over some thousands of dollars in bets that you want to make? You know how many guys on the team will bet you? So just do it that way.
It's probably just some silly parlay you're not even going to hit on anyway that you're just throwing in there for fun.
Man, listen, when you gamble, Vegas is Vegas for a reason. DraftKings is DraftKings for a reason. The majority of time, the house wins. That's why it's so much money in it, because they win more than you do. Dude, you're just doing it for fun because you may hit a parlay today, you're gonna lose the next 2 or 3. You may hit a parlay the following week, you're gonna lose the next 2 or 3. So, are you really ever winning money? You're just winning the money back you lost 2 weeks ago. And so, just abide by the rules. And if you can't, I don't have a problem with it.
Or you could take $500 and go to Vegas and win like 30,000.
LaVar, I guess I don't have a problem with it because I'm never gambling that type of money ever.
Right.
And so if you're that dumb to do it, then if you're making these dumb decisions, imagine the type of other dumb decisions you're gonna make. Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah. And that's a good point because you can make a decision as an organization on a guy that breaks that type of rule. Like if you can't comprehend it well enough to not make this type of mistake, being in the position that you're in, it's one of the best jobs you could ever get. Like you said, the minimum wage is amazing. Minimum wage is amazing being a National Football League employee. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out because one thing I know for certain, it's going to be a lock that somebody still breaks the rules. Somebody going to choose to be the Huckleberry. I'm just curious as to who's going to be who is going to get the biggest dummy award in the NFL.
And I don't know the exactly what happened, but Isaiah Rodgers, he was playing for the Colts. I remember reading about this, and we talked about this on the show, me, you, and Plex. He was playing his defensive back for the Colts, and he was betting on games. LaVar, dude was betting like $50, $100 on games. $50, $100 on games. Suspended for a year without pay. So ask him, was it worth it?
Right.
He was betting $50 and $100 on games. At least that was reported. That was what was reported.
And TJ LaVar, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was betting on his own team on the Colts, which now would carry a 2-year suspension.
Dude, but you're betting $50 or $100. Like, are you kidding me?
You're exactly right. You're betting $50 on a game, and yet you're about to get a 2-year ban over $50. Over whatever the odds were, a $50 bet.
Make it make sense. Damn, Colorado can't be missing field goals. They really gonna get smoked. But yeah, like you're betting $50 to $100, and now you just jeopardized $800,000. Luckily, if I'm not mistaken, is why I believe the Eagles have signed him to a futures contract, so he will get an opportunity to continue his NFL career because he was a fringe player. So the Colts, they got rid of him.
Yeah,
we just got to be better. And because I'm not a gambler like that, like I'll bet, but thousands of dollars? Nah. I had too many kids for that, LaVar.
Right, I hear you.
Thousands of dollars? Now, I will gamble. Don't get me wrong, but I'm small-time gambling. Small-time. Past time.
I heard.
You know how it was when we went to Vegas, LaVar?
I said I took $500.
Hey,
I was flipping it, though.
Hey, y'all, real quick. This is going to be a 20-second story of LaVar. LaVar had $500. We was playing blackjack. LaVar just won like 15 hands in a row. And he kept pressing it. That he turned that 500 into like 30 grand. I swear it was like 4 or 5 minutes. I swear, no lie. I'm like, LaVar, let's go. LaVar, let's go. He played one hand, he lost, but he played like 4 grand. I'm like, LaVar, let's go. Come on, you still got 30. Let's go. All right, one more T. He played like 5 more grand.
You know what hurt me?
LaVar, let's go.
Let's go. The new deck, the
they switched the dealers.
The new dealer. And I was getting double downs. I was getting them splits. Like I was getting.
And he was doubling down and was winning.
I was getting double nines, but I started losing them. I lost like 3 of them in a row, and that took everything.
I will say this: when you was up about 30 grand, I said, "Let's go."
Let's go. You should
have
took it.
About time we left, LaVar had no money.
None.
That $500 that turned into 30-something thousand was down back to zero.
Back to zero. Actually, I lost 500.
It was up probably close to 40 grand in like 5-10 minutes.
This is crazy, dude. That's a true story.